Hello all, welcome to Robo. Today we are going to talk how did Apple win the race of making the slimmest notebook back at the time. So shall we start? We know there are components which actually doesn't have any much compromises. Back at the day when Macbook was releasing, there was notebooks with a lot of compromises.
And we think you could put even more performance in one of these products.
There was a Sony laptop which actually is said to be a notebook but was not slim. So even Steve Jobs have told about this laptop.
They compromise, though, to get the weight down on things like the display. They have an 11 or 12-inch display, most of them an 11. They also compromise on the keyboard. Instead of putting full-size keyboards in, they make miniature keyboards. And they don't run them as fast as they could because their thermal envelopes don't support faster processors.
So when Steve Jobs introduced this to the crowd was actually amazed.
Let me take it out here. This is the new MacBook Air, and you can get a feel for how thin it is.
So what is the story behind, or how did Apple manage to come to this conclusion of making a new laptop? Okay, so when Steve was actually going through all these laptops, he came to know that there is a lot of compromises and it's still bulky. As I told before about that Sony laptop, right? So he had actually used that laptop and he found that even the keyboard is just a miniature, not an actual keyboard. So he really felt bad about people who actually buy this. So what he did is he came up with a different design which would actually make the laptop more slimmer but more powerful. So they started working on it. So at the last day, the day of presentation, he presented the MacBook Air from an envelope. Actually, that was actually so amazing, and it was actually a great moment for the crowd actually to find something which is very slim. Actually, that moment was so, they all were wondering how did Steve Jobs come with such designs. Okay, so in the Mac, so we let's just come inside the design area. So in a Mac, we know there is a battery, keyboard and all the stuff which a normal laptop has. So the battery is comes under just right under the trackpad, and it is a slim battery and it has a lot of space. So the battery don't need to be fat, instead they can be thin but widely spread. And the other thing here is Mac also have a real keyboard instead of a miniature one. Then right under the keyboard they have a speaker and a backlight for the keys. In that's just a common area. Then in one side of the Mac, where we have this on button right laptop. So in that area, one area they have the hard disk. The area just right against this, they have the CPU and all those that things. Okay, so that's where they had the Intel chip, and not Intel. Now they are coming up with their own chips. So that chip and all come. So yeah, that's a design for Mac. And the screen is also slim. They are using LCD screen. Yeah, that's how Mac's design is. I hope this was helpful for you. Thanks and guts. Man.